vidadati purvam yo vai vedansha prahinoti tasmai tam hadevam atma buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye. Om. Salutations to that Brahman who created the first subtle cosmic being at the beginning of each cycle and who revealed the Vedas unto him. To that Lord we seek refuge for liberation. May He enlighten our minds. Universal religion of the future. Nothing in this world has ever brought more peace, more blessedness, more happiness, more faith, more hope, more love than religion. It has enhanced human life. It has developed culture. It has cultured the human mind. And nothing has brought more destruction, more strife, more anger, more hate. And you know what's the history of this 2000 years of this religion has brought? It has sent whole nations and races and peoples to despair. Widows and orphans and children have been massacred, all in the name of religion. Why does it have to be so? Why is the dichotomy so intense? The same person who is religious will become a howling fanatic the next moment. What is this that goes on within us? The more intense the energies are within the body and the mind, which seeks to understand religious truths, the more intense their negative reactions will be. And this is why we find, along with blessedness, has come hate and destruction. If this is the present, what is it going to be in the future? Is it going to be even more hate and more destruction, or more blessedness and more peace? What are we in store for? We thought it was tapering off. Swami Vivekananda, in his famous 1893 Parliament of Religion, is saying, fanaticism, and it has long drenched the world again and again in bloodshed. But its time has come. And maybe the bell that tolled this morning in Chicago will be the death knell of all fanaticism, with the sword or with the pen, for people all moving towards the same goal. So it's obvious it has been a blessing and it's been a curse, religions. And people are now getting cautious. They're stepping away from religion. This itself, in a way, it's good, because institutionalized religions have these two objectives: power, control. we will see how religion has been and is an essential part of human nature. Now, we are like, let's put it like that religion in the truest sense of the term, I'm going to discuss this. We're not going to discuss the sectarian or the national or any religions in particular. If religion is going to be in the future, what religions in the future? Then it must also exist now and as it existed in the past. Everybody claims that our religion is universal and says my religion is universal, my religion is universal. Only you will have to come on our side to make it universal. That's not being universal, is it? So Swami Vivekananda gives two very evocative illustrations to demonstrate what real religion is. So he says a huge locomotive rushing down the tracks and a small worm that has crawled over the tracks is trying to crawl away from the speeding train, the wheels. It's going to crush it. And this huge locomotive, so huge, mechanical contraption, yet is nothing but dead matter. And the worm trying to save itself is greater than that machine. So he says, all things big and powerful and mighty, etc., is nothing compared to that small life. That life is trying to struggle and to survive. It is seeking freedom. And that's why it is greater than that huge locomotive, because it's a part of the infinite. Life, all life, is a reflection of this infinite. People are worried about AI taking over, etc., etc. So he says, in the living, there is a sense of freedom. And every impulse to realize this freedom is religion. Because only in freedom is religion is possible, not in bondage. You've got to be free. Swami Vivekananda says, if you want to set something, you want to free something for it to attain perfection, that is the way. You have to set it free. So, religion is a manifestation of the perfection already in man, Swami Vivekananda declared. So, religion is that perfection. And every impulse of life is a growth towards that perfection. So, here he says, it is perfection. And perfection and freedom and then religion are nothing but one series of things happening simultaneously. So, here we have the first definition of what real religion is. The next is this universe of ours, the illimitable, the unknown, the infinitely unknowable, is bounded by the known And herein is the struggle. Because the human mind wants to know, and religion is taking the plunge into the unknown. You have to step beyond what you know to make that also knowable. So this has been the search. In this unknown, Swami Vivekananda says, a thought arises. From where does it rise? We do not know. Where does it go? We do not know. With all our vaunted science, we do not know how thought emerges. There are explanations of the neural firing, etc., etc. That's for babies, just to keep you quiet. Nobody really knows. So he says, and the macrocosm and the microcosm are vibrating on the same key. They are in the same stage, as it were. They are, say, in the same groove. So this search after the unknown has been in the human heart since the very beginning. And as long as there's a human heart, there will be the search. Because the mind cannot rest satisfied with things which are unknown. You try it in your life, there is always a dissatisfaction. There will always be an urge to know. And this is religion. I hope you can understand this. Swami Vivekananda quotes probably Max Muller when he says that Socrates met an Indian who had gone there. And then he introduces himself and saying, the study of man is the greatest study. So that Indian, as usual, how can you know man if you don't know God? You cannot know yourself until you know what you are related to. And that is the infinite. Now, the moment I say, how can you know yourself if you don't know God? Immediately you are trying to project it outside. Sure, you project it outside. Oh, no. Ha. You project it inwards. And that is what Vedanta is. So this has been the search. And both Swami Vivekananda says there will be in the future a fusion of both these types of thinking. One is to project things outside, the God outside, the God who created heavens and earths and etc., etc., etc. And that's a God we seek to know. And the other eastern side, we are not interested in who created this. We hardly know anything about this. What has created me inside here? What is within me? And this internal and external have now are meeting together. Like Socrates met that Indian person there. Both will be answered here in the sense of how are you related to the infinite, God, truth, or whatever. So then the greatest study is the study of, yes, of course, but without the knowledge of the spirit, all study is materialism. And that has been the problem with religion. Nothing but materialism, happiness, enjoyment. And this is what has been preached over thousands of years. Oh, you'll be happy. There's a kind of reward and punishment. Okay, so can we give it up? Can we give up this religion? No, we can't. I mean, religion in the real sense of the term. I'm not talking about institutionalized denominational religions. It's impossible. Why? Because we are just one part of that infinite projected. This whole world is just an infinitesimal part projected in this world of time, space, and causation. Just a small part. I know you don't believe me. The world is so big. Yeah, go a few million miles out, then you'll know how big it is. There's nothing. So it's just a bit that is projected into this world of time, and this is our world. We are bound by time and space, and the laws of causation are grinding us down. So he says, take any study. He says chemistry or biology or physics or whatever. Push the study hard. Keep on pushing it harder and harder and harder. The physical forms will melt into the subtle forms. And this is in every department of knowledge. So you start with a particular branch of science, and then you keep on pushing it. It enters into subtle realms. And today we find, Swami Vivekananda says, physics melts into metaphysics. Sometimes you get irritated when you hear, probably not me, that scientists are talking about consciousness and reality and God and existence. Hey, that's not there. They have not even studied theology. What are they talking about? They're talking about the fundamental nature of being, etc. What? They're not trained for that. All the preachers and pastors and the ministers and all, they're saying, no, we know that. This is the movement of knowledge. It will have to go there. There's no stopping. Now, you'll have to stop then searching, stop seeking in that particular branch of knowledge. Take any branch. And today we find that biologists are talking about consciousness of fundamental. And then, they are trying to find consciousness in life processes. When did that happen? Why did physics and all come out with all these kind of doctrines that reflect Eastern metaphysics? In the 80s and 90s, a plethora of books had come out speaking on just the harmony between Eastern thought and Western science. Well, so he's saying there will come a time, there will come a point, they will come to a place where they will have to take that leap. And if this is the state of your mind, it's a state of humanity. We may not be searching individually, but humanity as a whole is searching for that. There was a book which made a big splash years ago, decades ago. It's a history of God. Probably you've heard of this. Karen Armstrong. And she was lauded and feted by all the religions. I mean, the Semitic religions, the history of God. And she shows the history of God the last 4,000 years. Yeah, because the German philosophers, they said, yes, it is like Spinoza and all that. God's reality is understood through the historical processes. Oh, as if God has got nothing to do with your history, or my history, or the nation's history. But she missed out one key element in studying these Semitic religions, and she's done a really good job. I'll recommend that book for you. So 4,000 years, how from the rough tribes of Judea and Judaism rose these ideas. Then from Judaism, Christianity and Islam. She missed out one point. She showed the history, but she never mentions Zoroastrianism, the religion of Zarathustra. And the Encyclopedia Britannica says that it contains both monotheistic and dualistic features that likely influence the major Western religions. Zoroastrianism now, it's on its last legs. There are few in its country of origin, which is called Iran, Persia. But most of them are in India because they had fled there. And some of them have come to the US. So, yeah. What I'm trying to bring out is there has been an evolution of religious thought. It cannot be. It just cannot be history. The impact is on history, yes, but every religion is an evolution of the preceding thought. No religion ever comes out from the skies and falls. It cannot. Well, so Jesus Christ came. Yeah, he came in an existing religion. He said, I come to fulfill, not to destroy. He says. Buddha came in an existing religion. So he was heir to previous thought, and he pushed the evolution of religious thought even further. He gave an impetus, that is to say. So evolution is a fact everywhere. We can see it in this world outside. Why should religion be insulated from this? No, it isn't. So the future religions, the universal religion, already exists. It has to be developed. It has to evolve further. It was in the past. So what do these people claim? Our prophet comes and he gives us the religion. If you remember, the impulse of freedom and the idea of wanting to know, making the unknown knowable, has been always impulse. And in the very primitive stages of humankind, I don't know, 150, 200,000 years ago, when the Homo sapiens were just crawling about and trying to survive, you find that the worship of trees and ghosts and serpents, and the human race went through this period of animism. It's called fetishism, not this present word fetish. Okay, totemism, symbolism. It goes through all these phases till it comes to polytheism, and then slowly to monotheism, etc. And somehow we got stuck there. Not Vedanta, of course. Vedanta took a different route. So every religion stands on the shoulders of giants. And why do these people, they used to worship all these, you know, beings, like in a tree, and there's a you can say the river is a goddess, and the mountain is a god, and the tree is a goddess, etc., etc. Why is all this animistic religions? Oh, they found that these things in themselves were alive first, and they had a power of destruction for the community, or for the human race. So they must be more powerful. And the idea was to propitiate these powers. And in time, they personalized those powers. Oh, the god of the wind, and god of fire, and god of rain, and god of thunder. And you get gods and gods and gods and gods and gods everywhere. Everywhere there are these gods. Including touch wood. Why is all this touch wood? These are the remnants of going and touching that tree. In Germany, those forests touch the tree, where those trees had those tree nymphs there, protect you. Everywhere you find this idea, there is something higher or greater than you. That has to be propitiated. Why? So that will protect us. That is behind all forms of worship. You go and throw flowers here, throw water there, and pray here, oh God, protect me from my this and that and this and that. So this was the impulse. They understood there was something higher or greater than them. And they needed to be propitiated so that they will protect us. And then in time they began feeling, oh, we are the descendants of those. Yes. Like in India, we have these two great Suryavanshis and this Chandravanshis. They were nothing but worshippers of the sun and the moon. And in time, they became so identified with those gods, they thought that we are descendant from this god. Yeah. And now we have we are the Suryavanshis, with lineage from this. No, you are just worshippers. And it's not only in India, don't worry. Universal. You find in the Greeks, and you find in the Egyptians, you find in Babylon. We are the descendants of the god Amun-Ra. You better obey us. So this became nothing but religion. And then it became a state-sponsored religion. So I said, what is religion? It's a cry of freedom. At the same time, we see that there are laws that are binding us, and we are trying to struggle against these laws. The way is not with nature. The way is against nature. If you go along with nature, you are going to end up like a stock or a stone or maybe a monument there. Nothing. The human spirit has always been against nature. This is what is religion. So why do religions quarrel? Yeah, Swami Vivekananda says, shouldn't be quarreling. You are going to worship God, and everybody agrees that there's God, except we say there are multiple gods. But the multiplicity is actually not real. It's apparent. We also believe that there is one God. Okay. So saying, when you come away from the center and you are trying to spread, and he gives an example of or an illustration of something has been kind of chained and it's struggling against those chains. And the further you go from the center, there's more vibration. There's more agitation. The chain kind of jangles and shakes and tries to. So every religion starts with a nice, we are all one. And then you look around, you already have 20 sects. And after some time, oh, there are 20 more denominations there. And 50, 60, oh my God. No religion starts with one. Sorry. We are all one block of stone. No. Every religion, every institutionalized religion has got multiple denominations. For us, we see, okay, it's one. So first they have to do that intra-religious harmony. Then you have to do an external, extra religious harmony. But that is actually what it is. You cannot have just one religion. We are one. You turn around. Now we are 5. This was recognized in Hinduism. You have your own conception of God, but it has to be rooted in some higher form, higher cognition called the Vedas, and it should be reasonable. All right. Each person will be a repository of religion. There will be no popes and churches and synagogues and to dictate. Religion, as we have seen, is innate in the human mind and body, and each person will be a religion by itself. So about 8.3, I don't know what population of the population is there. We have 8.3 billion religions. Because we'll say, okay, I believe in this, but my absorption of this will be different from yours. We may start out as a Buddhist or a Christian or a Hindu or a Sikh or a Jain or whatever. But each one has assimilated that according to one's own capacity. Externally, yes, you identify with a denomination. Internally, you have your own religion. This will be one of the outstanding features of universal religion. It will be truly universal. It will throw the whole responsibility on you. You take care of yourself now. You want to jump in a pit? Go jump in a pit. No, somebody pushed me, some God wanted me to jump. You do it. Or you want to climb the ladder out? Take the ladder out. So there will be no external authority over you. No theology to balance on your head while you walk through life. You will assimilate from science and from other religions and have another religion of your own. Until and unless you have your own religion, you are not going to progress. Yes. So can we have a universal religion by taking all the existing religions, a little here, a little there? Yeah, take the trunk from an elephant, take the legs from a giraffe, and take the, you can say, hands from a orangutan, and then make. That won't do. Let those elephants and orangutans and giraffes remain as they are. It will be beyond all these forms. It will not, because we have that. See, all religions speak about the same thing. They'll speak on charity. Every religion, long quotation, charity, on truthfulness, everything. But that's only one part, the moral part, the ethical part of every religion. But then again, there can be disputes there also. Philosophically, all religions are different, metaphysically. The metaphysics is different. The mythology is different. The rituals are different. The only thing that is common that ties is some moral precepts. There's so much divergence. And to level everybody down, you do what exactly as I tell you is not the way. So taking the very essence of the religious impulse is the way. Why is that? See, humans, whatever their faults, we have got plenty of faults. Plenty of. But as I said, everything is evolving. Then we also have something called the mind, which is evolving into an established faculty of abstract thinking. Yes, you may not really realize it. And you can say meta thinking or critical thinking or higher cognitive abilities. I think that's a better way. So what is abstract thinking? It involves ideas and principles that are often symbolic or hypothetical. This type of thinking is more complex than the type of thinking that is centered on memorizing and recalling information and facts. We know in India we are very famous. We will keep on memorizing. That was the old, you can say, Vedic impulse. We had to memorize everything because there were no books, no writing material. We are too poor to. So memorize. That's the best thing. Memorize. And that person used to recite long passages. That is one way of thinking. Memory. The other is this abstract thinking. Abstract is, like to illustrate it, like Plato says, this world that you see, solid world, isn't it? He's saying, nah. He had a first idea. It's just a shadow. Shadow of what? Of the real, the ideal forms. That's a separate realm. So abstract is to take away, ap, the suffix ap, take away. So this we have taken away from that, abstract. So what we do? We can take various principles, facts, data, etc., and analyze them. It's basically called metacognition. Thinking about thinking. In a way, you are stepping back from yourself and watching your thought processes. So these things can have problem solving, etc., all these other faculties come to play. So thinking, meta thinking or metacognition. And abstract thinking also gives us a perspective from within and creates a space. When you step back, it creates a space to have other perspectives also, to kind of try to harmonize or try to argue against. So it's like stepping away from these filters. Everything, we are all biased, whether we know it or not. The less biases are there, the better progress is there. We look at a world, we look at religion, we look at God, we look through our own biases. And it's extremely difficult. This takes a step back. So these higher cognitive abilities, why is it necessary? As I said, this gives us an edge. The human mind also, physically we are evolving, the human mind also is evolving. This abstract thinking and this higher cognitive abilities is leading us to what is called, hold your belts, yoga. Yoga, the perceptions of yoga will be next. Your very evolution is leading you to it. The Yoga Sutras was compiled 2,000 years, a little more than 2,000 years ago. They had the inkling that we are writing it for the future humanity. Now it's for the smattering of yogis here and there. But later on it will be world culture. We will be led. And yoga, I mean, not in these various forms, it's evolving. They will disappear. The real yoga will come. So psychology will be yoga. Now we know where thoughts arise, how they operate, and where do they go. Neurology will not give you that answer. Yoga psychology will. So you are it's not, oh, that some people discovered yoga and it's meant for all humanity. We are all heirs to this discovery. And everybody is eligible for yoga. You can see it. It's everywhere. Another thing is universal religion. Everything that is limited, everything that is small will be broken up. The more robust a thing is, the more universal a thing it is. Whether you call it markets, or whether you call it products, or we call it anything, it must be available everywhere. Then it is going to survive. The small things, this is mine, and this is my religion, and this is my way of thinking. Whatever is small, the world is showing us going to break up. There are counter forces, of course. And the idea, oh, globalization is a menace, globalization is tyranny, globalization this. But I'm not for or against it, but looking at things from this perspective of universality, it's going to be everywhere. As I said, again, religions are not going to be inclusive anymore. So it's going to be it's going to be inclusive. Sorry, not exclusive. Oh no, not you, only this guy. Do you have a pass? No. Oh, you can. Please go some other place. The other thing, like I mentioned, is the idea of divinity innate in every human being. Not only human being, in all life. And this will be the age of universal religion, where the divinity in every being will be worshipped. We will treat each others on that with the idea of divinity. It's going to be a huge transformative stage in human life. You'll take care of the environment. People now are saying we have environmental studies and environment has to be protected. Yeah. A new type of humanism is needed beyond all races and sects and societies. Yes, there. It is here we have a common heritage, a common grounding, and this is universal. And this will be the divinity of souls. This, what we know, will be important than what we do not know. From here you will go there, forget it. Religion will be here and now in your mind, in your body, in this world. Not going somewhere else and praying forever and ever, forever, praying there. You will start praying here only. It's good if you start praying here. And this idea of rewards and punishment, that was meant for, it was the stage when people had to be incentivized. Oh, you do this. That's not going to work anymore. Then it will kind of. So, we also will have to take into account paranormal psychology or paranormal phenomena. Like take for instance, like near death experiences, out of body experiences, etc., etc. How do you explain? Oh, no, that's a delusion. Or the brain is starved of oxygen, and then you see certain things, and the uh, firing of the neurons, the self and the non-self, that part, whatever part in the brain they have come out with, that is kind of dissolved, and one feels out of body. These things have been there in humanity for millions of years. Neurology is just coming in and saying, no, can these things be answered? Can the diversity amongst people be answered? Can morality be answered? Oh no, you see, our scriptures say like this, and our scriptures say like this. Morality will have to be based on human nature. Again, coming back to you, on your human, not our human nature. And what do you find in our human nature? One thing that we have struggled with: work, karma, and its results. These doctrines of karma will be central in understanding diversity, morality, and why is this happening to me? Oh God, why? What did I do? Something. You will see exactly the chain of events that led you to this. So you will get an insight into your own self. So these doctrines of, I'm not bringing in reincarnation, etc., etc. That it's not really important here. But there are these phenomena that needs to be explained. What exactly happens? A person does not believe in ghosts. Tell him, go at night in that place, it's haunted. You'll see what. Oh no, there are no ghosts, and see what happens. Icy fingers run up and down the spine. What if? It's an ancient fear. It has always been there in humankind. Dismissing it out, it doesn't work. There is something. What's going to explain it? You better. All these things need explanation. I think finally I'll conclude with, all sciences will be the science of consciousness. Every science. It will not study just matter. They thought matter was fundamental, and now they're finding consciousness is fundamental. And that's what we have been talking about. So this, and in the process, science and religion will join together. No more there will be any persecution and this kind of denunciations. And religion and science have been at loggerheads for these millennia. Imagine all the crazy things that have taken place between these two mighty forces. Science will be the new religion, and religion will become scientific. So it's just combining all our forces together. A young lad goes to the teacher in the Upanishads. What is that? By knowing which one knows everything. Everybody would like that. Kasminnu bhagavo vijnatam sarvamidam vijnatam bhavate. Knowing everything is known. Then the Guru says there are two types of knowledge, the lower and the higher. Dve vidhe veditavya. And the lower he starts enumerating. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvangirasa, Shiksha, Kalpa, biology, physics, chemistry, all these things come in the lower knowledge, which leads you to the higher knowledge. What is that? Ya tadaksharam adhigamyati. That by which the imperishable is known. This was declared, I don't know, maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. This lower knowledge will lead you to the higher knowledge. When you know the imperishable. Where is the imperishable? There within you. Ya tadaksharam adhi, when this imperishable within is known. And once you know that, you know everything. That is, universality. Knowledge will free us. This is the goal of religions, and that will be the goal that present such a religion, and there will be people there for you to come. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. This evening we'll have Ram Nam, of course. Next Sunday, our guest speaker will be Raka Banerjee. She is going to speak on the path of surrender. Sunday will be Mother's Children, of course, next Sunday, 9:50. Saturday will be Karma Yoga at Tapovana Center at Arlington. Wednesday will be the Gospel of Holy Mother, reading and discussion. There will be no Friday Atma Bodha class. Okay. So we have an announcement here that our Sunday school children are collecting old and new clothes for the homeless. So there's a poster up there. You can go to our website also. And the last date is Christmas. Also, we have a online magazine, Global Vedanta. Please feel free to download it, read it. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna